Welcome back to Regular Guys Outdoors. I'm Chris. When most people think of deer in Colorado, you think mule deer, and that's correct because that is the vast majority of deer in Colorado. But we also have whitetail, and for some reason, I kind of have a thing for whitetail. Maybe it's because they are not as common. And when I see a whitetail, I mark it on a map. So I have this map with all these dots all over it. And this year I have 3 whitetail licenses here in Colorado through the leftover licenses and the over-the-counter. I have 2 doe tags and 1 either sex tag. The goal here is to hunt on all 3 tags and fill 2 of them. And so the following series of videos is that quest. Today is Sunday, November 4th, and I'm going to head out east. I have a whitetail doe tag for that area. It's a rifle tag right now, and so I've got today, tomorrow, and the next day to try to fill it. And if I don't, I still have December 1st through the 14th to try again at the same spot. I've never been to these areas, so I'm going to be going in cold. So hopefully, if nothing else, it's just a good recon. But we'll see how that goes. Currently, I'm heading over to Eric's, kind of doing a little swirly loop out of the way. I got a bunch of stuff of his I've accumulated and borrowed, so it's time to give it back. So I'm going to stop by his house real quick on the way out. And this is also the inaugural run of this 2000 Dodge Durango. So I used to use a little SUV all the time, that light blue Kia Sorento. That was a manual transmission, 4-wheel drive vehicle. It did pretty good for me until the 4-wheel drive stopped working. So that went away, and been using the Dodge Dakotas ever since, and those are really good. I like them. They're a good compromise of size and space, both as far as being a little smaller than full size but bigger than your average S10 Ranger type truck. So, inaugural run here. One of the good things about an SUV is that everything is inside, so I can sleep in the back and come straight into the driver's seat without ever having to go outside if it's bad weather or something like that. The downside is everything is inside, so if you got a dirty shovel, an animal to throw in that's kind of messy, it's all inside. So pros and cons to it all. Give the SUV thing another go around here. Where I'm headed, there are about 6 parcels of public land to hunt, and they total about 13,000 acres, so it's fairly sizable. The chunks are fairly sizable, and the downside is you can't camp at any of them, so I have to go probably 10 or 15 miles south to a different state wildlife area that allows camping. So I'm pulling into Eric's here, and we'll pick you back up later. And we got a couple of hunters already walking out. Let's go check the other parking lot. Believe it or not, but that's the river. It's pretty dried up, and right here, it's just a little piece of sand. Let's go check out the tracks down there. I don't know. I haven't gone very deep into this wildlife area, but I might not need to go very deep. Those are the 2 trees I walked down by to check the tracks out in the river. Here's my view. So I had this 2 doe slip by me on my left about 250 yards or so, and they were on the move. They had a mission. They were heading somewhere they wanted to be. I was just set up just a little bit off. I guess if I had set up exactly where I started and went down to the dry riverbed and checked the tracks, I probably would have been in a better position to take a shot. They would have been 75 yards closer, and I probably would have seen them sooner. But there was no real spot to kind of hang out and be hidden over there. So I got ideas rolling around about how to approach tomorrow morning, tomorrow midday, and then tomorrow night. So we'll see how that goes. Right now I gotta go, it's a 20-mile trip back to the campsite, and there's a big old mule deer buck right there. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out. So it's, as I was saying, it's about 20 miles from the parking lot to the campsite. So I'm timing it as well. See what it is in the morning. I just don't know how to approach it first thing in the morning. So maybe I'll just get up somewhere close, wait for daylight, and see what I see. I didn't see anything that next morning, and so I went walking around to check out the property. This has been the best sign I've seen. I think this tells me where I need to be. I need to be able to see this. All right, new spot, and I'm gonna walk around, just check it out. I'm still planning on hunting back at the other place unless I just find something here that just says you gotta be here tonight. But going back up in there, and it is windy. It's brutal. At least it's not wet or cold, really. While I'm out walking, I come across a whitetail doe, and we're crossing paths at about 50 yards. The problem is, the wind is now blowing right at her. I think I got a nice little window through the woods right here, but she just kept going and I never found her again. Now back to the original property for the evening hunt. Tumbleweed. So I am set up overwatching that spot I saw today at the corner of the fence that had some good footprints. So I'm set up in this log, and the fence corner is right there. It's 175 yards and I'm zeroed at 200, so the shot should be easy if I can get one over there. My backpack is actually my rest,
I'm just protecting the rifle and optics and everything right now from the little bit of rain we had. It's actually pushing off, and the north is looking clear, and the northwest is looking real clear. So I think all that's going to pass. I didn't get very wet, which is good, because it's a whole nother ball game getting wet camping out of the back of your SUV than, say, hunting on your back 40. Whole nother ball game of getting soaking wet. So I'm glad that's kind of passed.